Have you ever noticed how the greatest stories all kind of follow a similar path? There's always a hero, a huge challenge, and then a transformation. Today, we're going to use that timeless structure, the hero's journey, to unpack an ancient myth, but also the powerful vocabulary that really brings it to life. We're going to follow our hero on her quest, and along the way, we'll uncover the words that give her journey its true meaning. So let's dive in. Right at the heart of every great myth, there's always a central question. And for our story today, it's this one. How can courage bring light to the darkness? This is the very challenge our hero is about to face. And the answer? Well, it's going to unfold right along with her quest. Okay, so every hero's journey starts with a world that's been thrown completely off balance. Our story kicks off in a realm that's been plunged into sorrow, where a sacred light, the very heart of their world, has just been snuffed out. And in its place, just a chilling, empty despair. So how did it all go so wrong? Well, it all started with the goddess Freya's amber necklace, which was, a source of life and energy for everyone. It was stolen by the Jotun Thrym, but not out of simple greed. No, this was done with a deep, bitter hostility, a true rancor. And that one act triggered a devastating catastrophe that just dimmed the lights across all the realms. And when I say catastrophe, I mean a true disaster. We're talking about an event that brought ruin and sorrow on a massive, massive scale. This wasn't just some minor setback. The very life force of the world was starting to fade away. But even in the deepest despair, a hero can rise. So meet Astrid. She's a skald, a storyteller, and a poet. And her strength isn't just in her sword arm, it's in her mind and in her spirit. She's got this incredibly sharp intelligence and acuity that lets her see the world for what it is, and this noble courage or gallantry that just drives her to do what's right. And that acuity is so much more than just being smart. It's a piercing kind of insight, the ability to understand situations quickly and really deeply. And this, not a sword, is going to be her greatest weapon on the journey ahead. And right there, with that vow, she accepts her call to adventure. She's facing this grueling, perilous quest to restore the world's bliss. Or you could say it's supreme happiness, and Astrid doesn't hesitate for a second. Her journey has officially begun. So Astrid sets out. And just like every hero, she's got to cross the threshold from the world she knows into the absolute heart of danger. In this case, the enemy's frozen fortress. This is where her first great tests are waiting for her. But Thrymmr's fortress isn't guarded by, just a bunch of simple monsters. Oh no. It's a labyrinth of treacherous traps where the real danger isn't physical. It's built entirely on deception. And treacherous is the perfect word for it, because the danger here is so deceitful. We're talking illusions, hidden pitfalls, paths that look totally safe but lead to ruin. Everything is designed to trick you. Now, a lesser hero might just try to smash their way through all this, but this is where Astrid's true strength really shines. She uses her sagacity, applying her wisdom and sharp judgment to see the traps for what they really are. It's that sagacity, that ability to make these incredibly sharp judgments that lets her navigate all that deceit with her mind, not her muscle. It is the perfect counter to a treacherous enemy. And this really gets us to the true core of the conflict. See, this isn't just Astrid versus Thrymmr. It's a fundamental clash of values. On one side, you have her virtues, her acuity, her gallantry, her resolve. And on the other, you have his vices, his arrogance, his rancor, and this greedy desire he just can't control, his covetousness. So, Thrymmr, just dripping with arrogance, finally confronts her. He tries to tempt her, to bribe her away from her quest, but her purpose is completely unshakable. Her resolve is simply stronger than his greed. And that's exactly what resolve is. A firm, unwavering determination. It's that inner strength that just says, I will not be moved. And Thrimr has absolutely nothing in his whole arsenal of tricks or treasures that can counter it. Okay, so having overcome the villain's traps and his temptations, Astrid now reaches the final chamber, what you might call the innermost cave, where the ultimate prize is kept. But it is not unguarded. The final obstacle isn't another one of Thrimr's deceptions. It's a lindworm, a dragon-like creature. But get this is Freya's own guardian. Its fury, its wrath, isn't evil at all. It's righteous, born from a duty to protect what's sacred. This isn't an enemy to be defeated, it's a test to be passed. And Astrid understands instantly. She cannot win this with a sword. This is a test of character. She has to prove she is worthy, not through fighting, but by showing her rectitude, her deep moral integrity, and her fortitude, which is the strength to stand before this immense power without any fear. Because rectitude is just that. Moral honesty. The lindworm isn't looking for a great warrior, it's looking for a good person. And in that one moment, Astrid's integrity is the only thing that matters. And so, having proven her worth, our hero completes her quest. But remember, the hero's journey doesn't end with just seizing the prize. It ends with the return and the restoration of the world. Worthy at last, Astrid takes the necklace. She returns it to Freya's shrine, and its soft radiance, its luster, spreads out once more. This light restores the world's energy, its vitality, and brings back that supreme happiness, or bliss, that had been lost for so long. The world is healed. So, what should you take away from all this? Well, the myth leaves us with a pretty clear legacy. First, that passionate devotion, what you might call fervor, is always going to be stronger than selfish greed. Second, that integrity, not force, is what truly persuades people and earns trust. And finally, that courage, both noble and enduring, really does have the power to heal a broken world. And that, of course, brings us back to ourselves. Astrid's journey was a myth, sure, but the virtues she embodied are very, very real. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What grueling quest in your own life, whether it's big or small, requires your fortitude right now?